which really played a terrific part for this Tunisian, for the Zimbabwe who went on to lose. But this time he gets an opportunity to get us underway. Tambwera opting to go with a bit of a deeper restart, and the kickoff has been taken inside the 22 of this Tunisian side. Immediately opting to put the ball to boot, sending the ball downfield. This one is not going to find touch, so running back to take it is Katsvere. Scored 2 tries on debut against Morocco a couple of weekends ago. And Zimbabwe do find touch on this near side, and in 17, but today getting an opportunity to start. And there, that win that you spoke about, throws the ball straight into the hands of Peter du Toit. He gets a pass away to Brandon Mandivenge, but a strong defensive effort there coming from Tunisia. It gets the crowd excited. Tambwera feeds the ball to his captain, Mutsamangira. Now Peter du Toit opting to go for the box kick, and he finds a little bit of space, but waiting for it is Sabri Gamir. And Gamir now taking on the defense. He gets past du Toit first up, and this is a strong run coming from Sabri Gamir. Does well to get the pass away on the inside as well. A very promising start for Tunisia as Bilal Suker makes his way just short of the 22. Got the pass away to Khalifa. A long pass over to Cheri Jabri, and Jabri with a terrific step on the inside. He's going to be stopped just short of the try line, and he lost the ball forward in the process as well. Against Kenya, scored a good try in that match. And today earning cap number 10 for Zimbabwe. And Zimbabwe do well to get the ball out at the back. Pari Renyatwa taking the ball into contact. But strong work coming from Tunisia at the breakdown. It looks like they might have turned this one over, and they have. And now taken it forward by Yaya Gra. A real test for Zimbabwe's defense early on in this encounter. Achraf Dif with a long pass over to Cheli. Cheli taking on the defense. Ball still available for Tunisia, and a long pass over the top into the hands of Werhani down that left hand.
Turned over the ball. Paranyatwa picks up from the base of the scrum. Unfortunately, had to pick against the wheel of the scrum, which didn't give him a lot of go forward, and that put Zimbabwe in a position where they could be counter-rucked.
It's really blowing hard on the field. They go to the middle of the line out, and that's well secured by Zimbabwe, and they get a little bit of momentum as well before the referee says coming around the side. So an opportunity for Zimbabwe to relieve some pressure.
Zimbabwe's line-out has been a concern for them in the opening 2 games of this Gold Cup, but that was very well executed. It's Nakufa Ringwa.
And this time the line-out stolen by Tunisia. Nicely done. Again, it's Achraf Dif who waits, using the big forwards to try and gain a little bit of momentum here at Tunisia. Dif this time opting to go with Zegdene, and a strong run coming from Zegdene as well. And the penalty going the way of Tunisia, this one in a very kickable position right in front of the sticks with the wind at their back.
Tunisian man just getting in front, getting his hands in front, and it turned the ball to Tunisia's way, but Zimbabwe be pleased with the opening.
His time here, does he have the direction as well? It's a good connection that he makes, but he pushes it away to the right, so the score remains 0-0 here. The kick charged down by Haitham Cheli for Tunisia, but the referee saying that he was in an incorrect position. I'm not sure if that free kick was legally taken, but the referee happy for play to continue as Mutamangira takes the ball out at the line out, and he finds his fellow big man Mudariki, or rather Mukanda, to drive the ball forward a few meters. And this looked promising from this Zimbabwe. Creeping ever closer to that halfway line. Nicely done by the big men as well. Good handling. Again, it's strong work coming from Tunisia at the breakdown. But they're just playing backwards a little bit. Still in control though. Peter du Toit now opts to go to the back line as he finds Tambwera. Long pass over the top, and it's a little bit dangerous for Zimbabwe. Tunisia very, very quick up in defense. And again, they do good work at the breakdown. Again, they force the penalty.
affecting Zimbabwe's shape in their attacking. Just see there, went backwards, got caught behind the gain line, and what often happens in that position, as you can see.
But we'll want to make the most of this opportunity. Again, it's messy for Tunisia at the line out. And now Peter du Toit manages to get the ball away cleanly. But they're going to be pushed out into touch on that way, on their own 5-meter line.
Well, this all starts with a solid scrum, Johan. It's important.
An under-20 player, but opting to choose for his home country, Zimbabwe. And he's currently filling the shoes of Hilton Mudariki, who's over in the UK. And now nicely through the hands by this Zimbabwean backline. They get it all the way to... Opting to go to the front. It's scrappy, but they do manage to get it back. It's F.T.R, who's the man who has to do the clearance work at the back, and he's got some good stepping on him as well. Makes his way to the 10-meter line of Zimbabwe.
Front of the lineup for Zimbabwe. On his contest, just knocked the ball quite hard back on the Tunisian side. And you just see the very physical play of Boussada. He's been very good for this Tunisian side in the last couple of years, and you can just see...
Tunisia will try to put a little bit of pressure on Zimbabwe, but Zimbabwe coming through very strongly. Eventually it does come out at the back, and the referee happy for things to continue. But it's the set pieces that are currently letting Tunisia down. Taken out at the back there by Cheli. And this definitely a tactic that Tunisia will use in this game, keeping it with their big forwards and trying to drive it up, suck in the defense before spreading it wide. Diff now, it's a pass to Ben Hamida. Just looking up as the ball was about to enter his hands, but it's an opportunity for Zimbabwe to go on the counter. Nice little inside pass from Mandi Venga, but the referee will bring them back for that knock-on by Tunisia.
At that last scrum, then just looking here at the injury to the Tunisian player.
And now Peter du Toit feeds much better from this Tunisian side as they manage to keep Zimbabwe at bay. Tambuera, pass into the hands of Mandi Venga, decides to cut in. And that's excellent work by the center, making his way forward. Now Peter du Toit, again struggling with that clean ball, but the advantage was there, and the penalty has been awarded to Zimbabwe. If there was no win, perhaps a kickable place for Linians Tambuera, but he decides to find touch, and that's an excellent...
The platform to get a foothold in this game.
Ball lost forward by Zimbabwe. And it's now Tunisia go on the counter-attack, deciding to run their ball from their 22. Diff opting to go to that short side into the hands of Ben Abdallah. But the knock-ons costing both teams an opportunity here, and we will come back for the original scrum for Tunisia. And this again very well done by the Tunisian side. Yaya Gra getting the ball out at the back, tries to get into the hands of Diff. Lost backwards, says the referee, so still available for Tunisia. Diff using his big forwards up front into the hands of Mohamed Nlis, gains a couple of meters. And the penalty going the way of Zimbabwe this time at the breakdown. Holding on, says the referee. Looks like that's not going to play out, but still an important match, this one, for Peter de Villiers. Opting to go along with the throw-in at the line out, but it's gone over the top. Peter du Toit has done well to secure the ball. And Zimbabwe now finding themselves 5 meters out from the try line. Du Toit waiting, marshalling the troops. Again using the forwards, but the handling mistakes in this game for Zimbabwe really costing them opportunities here to try and put the first points of the game on the board. And Tunisia now with the wind at their back, they do have an opportunity to kick the ball long downfield. Opting to run it for the moment though, and doing it really nicely. Gra taking it into contact. F.T.R, again he finds the big Mohamed Nlis, gains a couple of meters as well. And another infringement at the... And Yaku Stoneman, the coach of Tunisia, born in South Africa. Tunisia is playing at the moment. They'll be looking for more than that. Unfortunately, they're not going to do it in that way, but Zimbabwe making life difficult for themselves at the moment. Matthew McNabb there with a simple take in his own half.
But Tunisia now have a very good attacking position. 5 meters from the Zimbabwe line. Zimbabwe will have to employ a powerful scrum in order to disrupt this. Here you just see and get up into this Tunisian half. But they've got to stop this assault from the Tunisian team. 5 meters from the line.
Tunisia now getting a little bit of momentum with the scrum. It's been controlled at the back by Gra. And the arm goes out for the penalty, so they will have that advantage. But they'll be looking for more than that. Now Diff finds Gafsi. Gets a pass away to the captain, Sabri Gamir. Very strong with his hands-off. Handoffs rather, as he gets past a couple of defenders. Now Diff again waiting to get hold of this ball, but it's the forwards doing the hard work up front. Diff now decides to go himself. Stop short, just short of the try line. Taken forward now by Ben Abdallah. Being urged on there at the back by Bilal Sukar. And now Sukar in that scrum half position gets a pass away to his fellow loose forward Zegdene. And now a long pass over the top, but it's been intercepted. And the referee has brought them back for that earlier advantage.
Well, Zimbabwe weathering that storm very well from the Tunisia. They go quickly with Sabri Gamir and find their way to the try line. First try for this Tunisian team.
But Yaku Stoneman will definitely be happy with that one. Catching the Zimbabwean defense napping a little bit.
They certainly will. They did punch away at this Zimbabwean line for a couple of phases. Zimbabwe able to hold them up, but it was just this quick tap from Sabri Gamir.
Mohamed Ben Ali Gafsi now with the second attempt at poles. This one is also going to push away to the right, so the score. Just looking there, Sabri Gamir, it looked like he was going to take on the defense himself. That's what he's been doing this whole. Mohamed Bliss and Tambuera opting to keep it a little bit shorter this time, but Tunisia have done well to knock that ball backwards. But now it looks like Zimbabwe have managed to take control of it. Peter du Toit waiting for it at the back. He finds it, using those big forwards again. And now opting to go to the back line to Tambuera. Long pass over the top to Mandivenga. And a good step on the inside coming from Mandivenga. Makes his way to just short of the 22. Du Toit now to Tambuera. Long pass over the top to Pariretyautwa. Du Toit again to Tambuera. Tambuera opting to looking for the gap, and Tambuera finds the gap very, very nicely. And Tambuera goes over with a terrific dive as well. The scores are level with the conversion to come. An absolute delight drop.
Which is critical in this wind. Here we see it. The little carry there from Pariretyautwa. Du Toit brings it back. And it's just a straight run through the middle. Beats two defenders. And then the great leg drive here. Just to carry and finish that score off. Lenian Tambuera converts his score. So it's a 7-5 lead.
That water break certainly for them to do that. And Tambuera, it's really strong handoff. And in this situation, I thought Sami Gabriel was maybe going to be able to bring him to ground, but too much strength from Tambuera. And you can see how much that try means to the Zimbabwean side as they take the lead here with 10 minutes left in the first half. Restart taken by Pariretyautwa.
Tambuera, no real gaining ground, but they will take the line out.
And blowing from left to right on your screen at the moment. And Zimbabwe not finding their man at the jumper, but they do manage to get the ball back into their hands and then let it go. Another penalty coming the way of Zimbabwe. And it's finally time for the referee to step in.
Zimbabwe did lose their ball from the line-out. Nakufa going up in the middle of the line-out. Tunisian player gets in front of him. They may need to consider at half-time getting some movement in that line-out. The straight up and down not working for them as it stands. But just see there, Monday one.
He's starting to feel the pressure. This time they again managed to win the ball back, but it's not pretty at line-out time for the Zimbabweans at the moment. Driven up a little few more meters by the Zimbabwean side. Now it's Peter du Toit who waits for it. And this time the penalty going the way of Tunisia at the breakdown. Holding on, it looks like it was Parir Nyatwa holding on a little bit too long. And Tunisia now with the chance to get back into the half of Zimbabwe.
And it was Mlise who got over the ball. Very heavy man to move once he's in that very low position, and they weren't able to shift him in time to recycle that ball, and they just pushed Zimbabwe back into their half.
And it's again Messi at the line out for Tunisia. They hand possession back to Zimbabwe. And Zimbabwe now trying to drive this ball as far downfield as possible. They realize kicking the ball downfield he isn't going to do them much good, and now Peter du Toit opting to take on the defense himself. Does well to get the pass away to Lucky Sithole. He's been quiet in this game so far. Lucky Sithole is a good sevens player for the Zimbabwe Cheetahs side. Du Toit now gets the ball out to his captain, and he does well to get it away back to his scrum half, Peter du Toit. Good hands by the Zimbabwean side. Brian Nyore gaining a few more meters for Zimbabwe. And now du Toit again taking on the defense himself. Not the biggest player is Peter du Toit, but certainly plays with a big heart. And Matthew McNabb stepping in that scrum off role. Tambuera with a pass over to Mandivenga. Mandivenga losing the ball forward in the contact situation this game. And again, taken out at the back. Crowd to Diff. He's got his captain on his outside. Does well to get the pass away to Cherry Jabri. And Jabri steps on the inside. That's excellent work being done by the right winger. Does well to get the pass away as well to Diff. This looked promising for this Tunisian side. They secure the ball at the breakdown as well. Gra into play, scrum off. He gets the pass away to Ben Nemida. Still available for this Tunisian side. Picked up at the back by Yaya Gra. And now Diff waiting to get his hands on the ball. Zimbabwe working their way over at the breakdown. And it looks like Zimbabwe have stolen this ball at the breakdown. And the penalty going the way of Zimbabwe as well. Coming in from the side, says the referee at the breakdown.
Went down the blind side, a very simple play. Somehow find the overlap. The Zimbabwean fullback Chingi Katsvera just slightly out of position there. Needed to take that overlap man a little bit earlier, and Zimbabwe just able to push out of their 22. They'll have the line out. That has been a concern for them. So they'll need to look at a strategy to win this ball. And with 3 to 4 minutes left of this half, just find their way into the Tunisian half and try not to concede any more points. Here you see the play from Tunisia. Very simple 8-9-14, and able to get in behind the Zimbabwean defense.
Zimbabwe on this occasion have managed to secure the ball from the line out, and now trying to drive it up a little bit, but that's good defense by the Tunisian side, holding that ball up. And we now are heading into the final.
We just having to shorten their lineup because of this shape from Tunisia.
Again, it's being controlled at the back by Gra. Again, they opt to come to the short side. Diff gets the pass away to Gamir. This time he decides to take on the defense himself, but he's brought to ground by Matthew McNabb. And now it's Diff into the hands of Ben Amida. Penalty going the way of Tunisia, not rolling away by Zimbabwe. And Diff decides to take it quickly. Gets away to the try scorer, Mohamed Mlis. Now picked up at the back by Ben Abdallah. It's a strong effort coming from Zimbabwe, but Tunisia doing well to keep hold of this ball. Chedi Jabri looking what he can do against this Zimbabwean defense. And another penalty going the way of Tunisia, and now it might be a chance for the referee to have a word with the Zimbabwean side. They've given a
clear warning about the number of penalties in this area. Here you see the carry from Jabri. And very physical for Zimbabwe there, but considered off his feet, Brian Yaude. And it gives Tunisia this kick to touch and a chance to... no, they've kicked it out into the dead ball area.
Du Toit feeds at the scrum. And another strong scrum coming from Zimbabwe. They forced the penalty as well. And that's great work coming from Mutamangira and Mudariki in that front row. But don't underestimate the impact that Nyode and Nyaku Faringwa is making in that second row, Liam.
It definitely is. A very powerful scrum there from Zimbabwe. It's probably been the highlight of their performance in this last 40 minutes. It has bought them a number of penalties and has got them some turnovers. They disrupted the Tunisian ball and have opted to tap here and try and work their way up the field.
Yeah, realizing trying to kick the ball downfield isn't going to do much good against this strong wind. Bit of a change of direction there for the Zimbabwean side, and they've done well to get the ball out to Matthew McNabb. He's got a lot of speed as well, but a good last-minute tackle coming from Sabri Gamir. The arm is out from the assistant referee. It looked like that tackle was high. And now, if Tunisia do lose, especially their captain for a few minutes, that will be danger. But this is very promising from the Zimbabwean side, and this is what they can do if they stay patient and they just keep the ball in hand.
Matthew McNabb's got a lot of pace. He's a very powerful runner, big in the legs. Just see the high tackle there from Captain Sabri Gamir, and expect that he will be cautioned by the referee. Just being called over at the moment, signaling just a warning for the captain. And opted for the scrum. Obviously, the highlight of the Zimbabwean performance in this first 40 minutes has been their scrum. So a chance for them to build a solid platform and get their backs working in this game.
They absolutely demolished Tunisia. Being controlled now at the back. Taken out by Du Toit into the hands of Tambuera. Strong tackle coming on to Mandivenga. And holding on at the breakdown. So again, Zimbabwe at the breakdown, letting themselves down. It's been taken quickly by their captain of Tunisia, Sabri Gamir. Does well to almost make his way into the half of Tunisia, and Sabri Gamir wins the ball back. And it's their captain who decided that is enough for the first half. I thought in a position like that with the wind at their back, they might want to play a little bit longer. But Tunisia, the Tunisian captain, happy to go into the break with the 2-point deficit. Interesting half here in Beja. In the beginning, it was all about Tunisia, Zimbabwe fighting back strongly, and it will be an exciting second 40 minutes. But confirmation here in Beja, it's Zimbabwe leading 7-5 against Tunisia. Don't go anywhere. All the action from this Rugby Africa Gold Cup heading your way right after this. Welcome back to Beja for this round 4 Rugby Africa Gold Cup action between Tunisia and Zimbabwe. And it's all to do for Tunisia in the second half, playing against the wind. And they find themselves trailing by just the 2 points against this Zimbabwean side. The restart taken comfortably by Zimbabwe. And it'll be interesting to see the tactics that Zimbabwe opt for in the second half with the wind at their back. Really struggled to get out of their own half at times in that first 40-minute period. Again, they look to take it forward by using their big forwards. Good little offload there coming from Mukanda. And Tunisia's defense needs to be strong in the second half if they want to avoid Zimbabwe going in with the try line. The break coming through from Zimbabwe. And that'll be just during this match so far. But Zimbabwe putting a lot of pressure on them, and Zimbabwe forcing the penalty as well. Again, it's good work by their front rowers. Decided to take it quickly, and this will be trouble for this Tunisian side. They will be down to 14 men for the next 10 minutes. Deliberate knockdown coming from the Tunisians. Will be a little bit disappointed with that as well, because it's handed Zimbabwe a golden opportunity here to score the first points of the second half. Tackle on Mandiwanza from Tunisia there. Opting to use the blind side now are Zimbabwe. Peter Du Toit gets the ball away nicely to Brian Nyode. Du Toit now decides to go to Tambuera. Inside pass. Tunisia's defense holding firm for the moment, and they've forced the penalty. Or in fact, it looks like there might be a serious injury, and that's why the referee has brought an end to play. That's good officiating. Safety always first, and
Tunisian player. We're not quite sure who it was. Here you see the inside ball, and big collision there on Baptista. And unfortunately, it looks like we have got a medical situation here. Just got his head on the wrong side of the tackle, and medics will attend to him. So good start for Baptista, very powerful carry into that midfield, and Zimbabwe employing their lineup. Kufaringa play with, we know that because Baptista just touched the ball for the first time 43 minutes into it, and just see the Tunisian player leaving the field.
What happened in that first scrum of the second half? So the toy feeds. Nyatwa in control at the back. Scrum collapses, the arm goes out from the referee. Now the toy gets it out to Tambwera. Run coming there from Mandivenga. Tunisians trying hard to make life difficult for Peter du Toit, but again the ball lost forward in the contact situation. But the referee will bring them back for that scrum advantage. Right in front, decision time here. Take the 3 or opt for another scrum.
Yeah, the scrum was very powerful there. You just see Paranyati, they knew they had the advantage. They knew they had the rumble going forward. And then once...
Another strong scrum coming from Zimbabwe. Again, it's being controlled at the back. Tunisia swing around, and the arm goes out from the referee for a second time in about a minute or so. This power of the Zimbabwean side.
It's all capping on that tight head side for Tunisia. That's where the pressure's coming through, and they've just got us for a penalty try. Zimbabwe just got to control it. They've got to be disciplined, and they've got to control the ball at the base.
Looking a little bit better from Tunisia at the moment. It's eventually taken out at the back there by Nyatwa. Now Peter du Toit trying to work this way, or rather trying to get that ball out. The referee has been warning this Tunisian side. He warned them in the first half, and perhaps this again a final warning. Mafai here for Samir Hamrouni. Under pressure are Tunisia at scrum time. Is he the man to anchor the scrum for the Tunisians? Taken out at the back by Peter du Toit, taking on the defense himself, brought to ground just short. Still, it's available for Zimbabwe. Nyori playing that scrum off position. Now he decides to get it out to his back line. Tambwera trapped in possession. And that strong defense coming from Tunisia. Peter du Toit now back in position. Lucky Sitole with a little bit of a run through for Zimbabwe. Again, they're just keeping it close, keeping it with the forwards, allowing the big men trying to work it up before spreading it wide, and now it does come out wide for the back line. Mandivenga with a good little run, gets the ball float away as well, and this will be a second score for Zimbabwe. The first points of the second half as well, and Zimbabwe all of a sudden with a nice healthy lead.
Over the line. Yeah, you just see very direct for Zimbabwe. It's the first time they've gone to the backs in that very direct play, and he's just got very powerful legs, beats the defenders, and drops the ball over to Mandiwanza, number 6.
Ernest Mudzengerere winning cap number 3 for the Zimbabwean side. And the conversion was good as well, so it's a 9-point advantage for the Zimbabwean team. Mudzengerere immediately called into action there, trying to rally the troops close to the breakdown. This time he takes the ball into contact himself, having the same problems that Peter du Toit had in the first half. Mudzengerere waiting to get this ball out. Now he does get it to Tambwera. And Tambwera using the wind behind him. And that is a very good-looking kick from Linian Tambwera, taking play right into the 22-meter area of Tunisia.
Of the ball and the bounce of the ball just put them here. Now you just see Mandivenga's break, and finished off by Mashawi, his center partner.
But you won't be smiling until these 80 minutes are up and his team has got a win. And Tunisia now will have to try and run this ball out of their own half. And that's a good little break coming from Al-Gafsi. He gets the offload away as well into the hands of Sabri Gamir this time. Strong handoff coming from Gamir. Gets the offload away as well to Sukar. Now back into the hands of Gamir. Breaks through a few more defenders. Does Sabri Gamir, the captain of Tunisia. Doing it all on his own at the moment is the skipper. Now it comes to Ben Hamida. There's a great run from Sabri Gamir. It's taken play deep into the half of this Zimbabwean side, and the referee will bring them back for the earlier penalty. And it looks like this might be a yellow card as well. A knockdown. And it looks like it's Kudzai Mashawi, the man that has to spend some time in the sin bin.
They will go to the touchline here. Just looking at what happened.
Messi again at the line out, and it's going to fall kindly for this Zimbabwean side. And Tunisia, their own worst enemies at the moment at the line out, and in handling errors, Zimbabwe, their own enemies. Penalty going the way of Tunisia, deciding to take it quickly, and it's just messy all around at the moment from both these teams. But Tunisia will get another.
Tunisia opted for the four-man line-out.
And this to reduce the gap. It's a better-looking kick, and it's good as well, and it gets the crowd excited. Tabuera with the high-hanging restart, and Tunisia allow the ball to bounce. But the bounce favors them, and now they've got some good momentum on this rolling maul. They've got the advantage from the referee as well, and all of a sudden this Tunisian side looks very different, as you said. Achraf Deep deciding to take play quickly. A little chip kick over the top. He manages to win the ball back as well, but then loses the ball in the contact situation. And unfortunately for Tunisia, Zimbabwe just need to put a little bit of pressure on this ball, and they'll take play to deep into the half of this Tunisian side, and this ball falls kindly for McNabb, and all of a sudden Zimbabwe find themselves with a good attacking opportunity inside the 22-meter area of Tunisia. But Tunisia with strong work again at the breakdown, and now it's Sabri Gamir taking play quickly, trying to catch the Zimbabwean defense, snapping in again. Jabri with a strong run down that right-hand touchline, does well to keep the ball in field, and it's Ben Abdallah now managing to gain a few meters. Achraf Tif now to his fly-off Gafsi. Good hands into the hands of Ike Mokni, but stolen by Zimbabwe again. And the handling mistake coming from Zimbabwe, but advantage being played for this Tunisian side. The good step on the inside, and this will be a score for Issam Werani. And Tunisia are right back in this game. Absolute delight for the home side.
With the conversion to come. This all came from a quick tap from Tunisia. And stripped in the tackle by Zimbabwe, but they knock it on. Those unforced errors, a big part of this game so far. A lot of work to do there for Mudariki to pull him in. Wasn't great defense from the cover tackle from Zimbabwe, and Tunisia find themselves.
And Al-Gafsi has found in this final period. Nicely taken there by Nizar Nasri for Tunisia from the restart. I said just a short while ago, they can't just try and kick their way out of their own half. They need to try and run it. This time they do opt with the kick. And if you decide to kick against this wind, this is what happens. But the ball was charged down by one of the Zimbabwean players.
Relieves Mukanda. It's been hard work for those front row players, and possible injection of energy from the hooker position.
And all of a sudden, everything just starting to happen for this Tunisian side. Ikhne Mokni finding his man very nicely at the line-out as well. Mohamed Ben Abdallah now taking the ball into contact. Being controlled nicely at the back. Dif gets it out to Gafsi. Long pass over the top into the hands of Haitham Cheli. Does well to gain a few meters with that leg drive and eventually brings it to ground. And now it's stiff to Mokni. And Tunisia opting to play the ball inside their own 22, and they lose the ball forward. So this will be a scrum for Zimbabwe inside as we look at the screen. And this time a strong scrum coming from Tunisia. And this is what a little bit of momentum can do.
Off the ball, and they'll be very disappointed with that, particularly with how good their scrum has been so far. They go for the tap, Tunisia, and work their way out of the half.
This looks promising for Tunisia as well. Step on the inside coming from Khalifa. Picked up at the back by Cheli. And now Diff back in possession. A long pass over the top into the hands of Mokni. Players over on the right-hand side for Tunisia. If they decide to use it, they've got that advantage. Ben Abdallah taking the ball into contact and eventually lets it go as well. Nice little pass coming from Gra, and the pass on the inside to Yaya Gra. He's just not able to hold on to it, but there anyway was a foot out in touch on the far side.
To bring some energy back, the momentum is running against them. There you see the offload and the pass inside. Last gasp effort from Zimbabwe just to push the player out and save.
Zimbabwe have done well to secure the ball from that line out. Tambuera with the clearance kick, but he's not going to gain too many meters. The ball going out into touch inside the 22-meter area of Tunisia to follow up on that strong performance from Ben Abdallah. Over the top into the hands of Ben Sharada. Akhraf Diff at the back. Gets the ball out to the replacement Nizar Nasri. Diff controlling the troops. Diff finds Bilal Suker, who takes the ball into contact. Good defense coming through from Zimbabwe, but it's available for Tunisia at the back. Again, they decide to keep it close and drive it up a few meters. And the penalty going the way of Zimbabwe, holding on at the breakdown. That was good work by the Zimbabwean side. And they've opted to take it quickly, and the referee is happy for play to continue. Nice little dummy thrown, and this will be trouble. I think that might be a yellow card as well because of that earlier incident.
Critical turnover there from Zimbabwe. Just turned Tunisia over. Quick tap from Fortune Japendo, who's just come onto the field. One thing about behind them to kick themselves closer to the Tunisian line.
For the next 10 minutes, probably will only be able to come back on for the last minute or so of this game. So Zimbabwe now trying to reclaim this lead. And Tunisia will need to watch their defense as well, not give away a penalty here. Only 1 point in it at the moment. Widzingerere gets it out. Lucky Sitole, the man there taking the ball into contact. Widzingerere now to Chipendo. Opting to keep it on the short side, waiting there for to have the team perform well in those last few minutes.
It's been a lot of changes in the front row, Johan, in the last 4 or 5 minutes. So
and in the build-up to this game, Liam, we thought we were going to be entertained, but I think we didn't expect things to be quite this close in the dying few minutes of this game. It really has been an exciting encounter here in Beja. And Zimbabwe now finding themselves in possession inside the 22 of Tunisia. Tambuera with the long pass. Tambuera back in possession, and there they decide to use Coupe. And a strong hit coming on in from Tunisia, but it's still available for the visitors. Little inside pass coming from Lilian Tambuera. Good defense again from Tunisia, driving the Zimbabweans backwards. Trying to keep that ball up in the air. But now Zimbabwe have turned it into a bit of a driving maul, and they've gained a little bit of momentum. And the turnover is good, says the referee. F.T.R feeds. Picked up at the back by Sabri Gamir. He plays at the back of the back line, but now he finds himself at the back of the scrum as well. He really can do everything. Sabri Gamir, the captain for Tunisia. But 6 minutes is a long time in the game of rugby. Can't just try and keep possession here. They need to have the mentality that they need to add more points on the board. Taken into contact by Ben Charada. F.T.R again controlling things at the back. Mohammed bin Hamida for Tunisia. And now it's Nizar Nasri. Nizar Nasri doing well to gain a few meters. Again, it's F.T.R doing the controlling at the back. Diff deciding to keep it short again. Zimbabwe will be working hard at the breakdown there, trying to force the turnover. Diff now to Khalifa. This time it's Ahmed Nasri taking the ball into contact. It's been turned over by Zimbabwe, but illegally in an offside position. 21 Hossein Kalfi made his way onto the field. Definitely one of the crowd favorites here in Beja. Now he goes to the front. It's Messi, but they win it back. And it is Hossein Kalfi. Gets an early touch after making his way onto the field. Picked up at the back by Bilal Suker. Interestingly enough, he played at centre last year when these two teams met over in Harare. Today he finds himself in the number 6 jersey. Ahmed Nasri deciding to drive the ball forward. That's good momentum that's being built up by this Tunisian side. And again, the penalty going the way of Tunisia. And yeah, cool heads are needed. Sabri Gamir stepping in, saying, give me the ball.
So playing the ball on the ground, one of those very difficult penalties to understand from the players. Once you wrap that player up and he goes to ground, you have to let him go. You just watch here, Zimbabwe wrap the ball up. But as they go to ground, he strips it from him, and that is a penalty to Tunisia. So this Tunisian team marched their way down further into the Zimbabwean territory. Zimbabwe did win the last line-out on Tunisia's put-in.
Can they repeat that in Beja? The throw-in goes to the back, and it's been stolen by Zimbabwe again. And now Zimbabwe, Messi at the back there. Picked up by Amjad Ben Charada. And the clock is ticking away. 90 seconds left for these Zimbabwean side to try and work their way back into the half of Tunisia and try and get that crucial winning score. But at the moment, it's Tunisia doing the controlling. And the referee has played the advantage. He's still playing the advantage for that scrum. And this time, Sabri Gamir. How fitting will it be if he gets the winning score? He really has been instrumental for Tunisia. Still moving forward is Sabri Gamir. He gets the support from his teammates. They go over the try line. Can they get it down? The referee says no. Held up.
Humbling further and further closer to the line. Here's Sabri Gamir. Holds the ball up in a tackle, creates a maul. And the red tide takes it over the try line, but Zimbabwe do.
Tunisia won't mind if the scrum goes down. Eats up a few more seconds. Strong scrum coming from Tunisia. A drop kick attempt. It's good as well. Mohamed Al Ghafsi has slotted it. The referee has blown his final whistle. And what a phenomenal result here in Beja for the home side. Tunisia have picked up another victory over Zimbabwe. What a turnaround after that loss against Namibia just 2 weeks ago. What a difference 2 weeks can make to a team like this. Zimbabwe will head home with another defeat to their name, but absolute joy here for the home supporters and for the Tunisians, and a very, very well-deserved victory for them.
It's a dramatic finish to this game, but Tunisia have led for the last 15 minutes, and it's just that drop goal that doesn't give them the win, but it does seal it for them on the final whistle. Here you see it. Didn't have a lot of time. There was some Zimbabwean players bearing down on him. Great chase from Zimbabwe, but you just see the Zimbabwean players broken and lying on the floor in disappointment at how this game has ended for them. Huge effort from the Zimbabweans, incredible effort from the Tunisian team. Their energy and their confidence built slowly through.
Beat Zimbabwe. The full-time score here in Beja, another historic victory for the home side. It's Tunisia 18, Zimbabwe 14.